In a squat position, our pelvic floor is lengthening under contraction. So it's again a really good place to get some pelvic floor feedback, but it's also preparation for our more dynamic pelvic floor work that's going to help us return back to gym work and running and jumping. So with the feet slightly turned out, as I lengthen down into the squat, I push the knees out to avoid this, and then I come back up. I'm thinking about sending my bottom backwards and keeping the chest lifted and the heels down. So what you should feel as you come into your squat is that pelvic floor lengthens and stretches, and then as you come back up, lift up into that pelvic floor. So like our pelvic floor is a vocal cord. Inhale, allow it to lengthen, push those knees nice and wide. Exhale, squeeze and lift up into that pelvic floor. Another cue is when you're at the bottom of that squat, as you come back up, press your feet down into the ground as you lift up into that pelvic floor, and you should feel the back of those sit bones really connecting together. Inhale, way down. Exhale, press into the floor and lift. We can start to make that squat a little bit more dynamic now as we work our faster twitch fibers. So for this, I come up onto the toes first, and then I jump and land in that squat, lifting up, and then I'm landing heavy into the floor. And you can feel that little bit of thud that I'm making as I stamp into the feet. So now what's happening is as I land, which is the same as jumping or running, the pelvic floor has to voluntarily contract and lengthen down and reconnect back up. And that's where a lot of women fail, because they don't have that elasticity and the ability to allow that pelvic floor to lengthen. And so that's often why we might find that we leak when we sneeze or cough or jump. So we need to start to train that involuntary space to come back up, as well as our lift into the pelvic floor this way. So again, you can increase the amount of depth and pressure that you put into that jump as your symptoms improve. You can progress to make that a squat jump of coming out and back. And again, feeling that pelvic floor contract back up as I come through. Be mindful as the jumps become more dynamic that we've still got a good landing mechanism of the knees, and we're not starting to land here. So we want the thighs and the bottom to be taking a lot of that load. That's why our squat technique's important, to help to protect the pelvic floor. So it's just as important that we strengthen the legs as well as our pelvic floor muscles.